This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money, your work, your relationships, your life, pretty much anything and everything. I'm John Deloney, your host today, joined by my co-host and good friend, best-selling author Ken Coleman, and we're taking your calls on just about everything. Your money questions, what do you do next, your relationship, your work. Hey, and if you are in a toxic work environment, you're trying to figure out this madness that's going on with the work environment and relationships, trying to figure it out, give us a call. 888-825-5225. It's 888-825-5225. Let's go to Mario Brothers in Grand Rapids. What's up, Mario?
Hi, how are you?
What's up, man? I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I was just calling to see how you at the Dave Ramsey Solutions would work in moving, or excuse me, how you guys would work moving from a different state into the baby steps. Is it a good idea? I guess depending on financial situation, or is that something that's not recommended at all?
Tell me a little bit more. I'm not certain I understand your question. You're allowed to move, of course. In fact, you're a grown-up. You can do whatever you want. But tell me a little bit more.
Right. No, I guess because, my wife and I, we are just trying to work out getting out of debt. We, besides the house, we only have about $16,000 left in debt. And we will just be moving from to a more expensive state. So, and I was just saying, if I guess, is that something that that you guys get that kind of question a lot, or if it's not necessarily recommended, where usually the cost of living in this state is a lot more expensive?
Well, why are we moving? Forget the cost of living in one state. Forget the baby steps for just a moment. Why are you moving?
Mm-hmm. Well, my wife has a potential, has a job opportunity there for a little bit more as far as money-wise. But like I said, the kind of going back to the cost of living, It is a lot higher. So.
Does it further her career long-term? Is this the last step for her, or does she feel like this is one of the right steps to get where she ultimately wants to go?
She does feel like that this is a potential to eventually being manager, yes.
Right, which means even more money, correct?
Correct.
So, okay. Mario, you don't want to do this. Why not?
It's not that I don't. I just, my cousin has introduced me to the plan not too long ago this past summer. He was actually just on your show this past summer at the Debt-Free Screen. And, I guess I was just kind of considering that. I really want to get to where him and his family are. Right. So I was just like, I don't know if that throws a wrench into it. It could be possibly.
Have you run the numbers? Have you guys run the numbers as best as you can on what utilities are going to be? So when you talk about cost of living, you're scared. And it's a very legitimate fear, Mario, that all of a sudden, if we make this move and the cost of living is higher, it's going to take us longer to get out of debt. That's what I think I'm hearing. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
All right. So have you?
Summed it up perfectly.
Yeah, no problem. So have we run the numbers? Have we? Because you can do this. You can actually go, okay, here's what property taxes are. So if we determine where we're going to live, John, we can kind of go, all right, here's what property taxes are in the state. Here are the local property taxes. Here's what utilities cost in this area. You can actually do a really good cost of living analysis. And so when you get, and again, I'm not saying it's going to be super specific, but you can get pretty darn close and then look at your current budget in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and look at this new location. We go, okay, now we have a real idea. I think it's so scary right now, Mario, because you don't have numbers to plug in. And I think one of the greatest fears in the world is the unknown. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
All right then. So you got 16 grand left to go. You're crushing it. You guys got momentum, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, then. Plug the numbers in. Your wife's going to get an increase in salary. We get that. All right. Talk to your accountant, get a good idea what the take home might be with this new salary, and begin to look at all those other indicators, John. I think when he does that, I think then it's managing that emotion.
That's right. So, Mario, I've done this twice, my wife and I have, where we took major household income pay cuts to go to a job, a town, a city, a job that was right for all of us. And that meant multiple things. It was better for our family. It was better for me professionally. It was better in some cases, sometimes worse for her professionally. She made a concession in one, and then she won in the next one. But every time it has paid off financially in the long run because all the other things were right. And it was a good professional fit. And so I think the key here is making this move without taking on any debt. If you have to borrow money to make this move and you're going to go back 10 grand in the hole because of X and what, man, you don't have the money to move. You see what I'm saying? So make this transition. Do what Ken said when it comes to making the budget for what this is going to look like. This is about numbers. This is not about can I leave the state or not.
That's right. And Mario, I know you're new to the plan, so here's what I want to encourage you with, something very practical here. People cash flow things all the time in their debt journey. We hear debt-free screamers come up and they go, well, we paid off this amount of debt, but we also cash flowed getting a new washer dryer. And so this is just like that. There is a cost to moving. Now, hopefully your wife, has she gotten an offer for a moving bonus to go towards moving expenses?
It's not necessarily a bonus, but just a bump in salary and paying for the move.
Okay, so here's my point.
Not necessarily a bonus.
So whatever the cost of the move is, right? Packers, movers, whatever. There is a cost of moving. If you have to cash flow that while working through the baby steps, that's fine. So you're not doing anything out of the norm. So back to that initial question, yes, it's okay to move if it's to a better life. You and your wife agree that this is the right move for us. The baby steps don't necessarily have to stop, but if you have to pause for 1 month of the move, that's fine. We pick back up. We're out of debt. Your wife's got this massive opportunity in front of her that she's going to climb a ladder. That's better for everybody. Nothing to be scared of here, but go get some answers. Yes. Plug it into your budget and keep walking out the baby steps.
So as we head into the break here, Ken, I think two important principles emerge. Use real data when you got it.
That's right.
We spend a lot of time in our heads.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Having imaginary conversations and what about this, that a simple spreadsheet can often solve for us.
It's true.
Is this a good move for us? Mm-hmm. And the second thing is, man, use the baby steps as a path to walk on, and don't ever forget that you can pause the baby steps, stack up cash if you're having a baby, if you got to go to surgery, if you have to move, you just got fired. Life happens along the way. A kid all of a sudden is like, hey, I'm dropping out of college, I'm coming. Things happen. The baby step 2 just says, don't take on any more debt. We're running like crazy to get out of here, but baby, surgery, cancer, mom's got to move with us. Great, that's life. Don't take on any more debt. So I want, Mario, y'all save up a bunch of cash, brother. Get this move done. Y'all are going to move. You're going to love it.
Congratulations, by the way. Very exciting time. Celebrate with your wife tonight. Stuff a little bit of that fear. Buy her some flowers. Take her to a nice steak dinner. Or cook it yourself.
No, let's go out. 888-825-5225. We'll be right back.
Chaos. That's what it can feel like when your business is growing so fast you've outgrown your financial and accounting software. The faster you grow, the more likely you are to lose control of the numbers. And here's the reality. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's why we use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Over 28,000 companies use NetSuite by Oracle, including Ramsey Solutions. because NetSuite gives us a single view of everything we need to make daily decisions. Whether you're making a few million to hundreds of millions a year, NetSuite gives you the visibility and control of the things you need to grow, like your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more, all in one dashboard. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey right now to get their free white paper. Jumpstart your CFO career.
Triple 825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined by Ken Coleman. We're taking your calls on money, on life, on work, all of it. Let's go to Mark in Phoenix. What's up, brother Mark?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. Hey, I got about to receive a commission check of about $100,000.
Whoa,
that a boy?
Whoa, don't roll through that so quickly. How about Mark?
Are you selling chips for cars?
No, I think he's selling space shuttles.
What are you selling, man?
Well, it was a lot of work, right? So we want to try and celebrate it, but at the same time, we don't want to kind of mess anything up with it. So we're trying to just figure out kind of what to do with it and where to put it and all that good stuff.
All right.
So what's your debt situation?
So we've been debt free for about 3 years, maybe, except for the house.
Excellent.
So no debt to speak of.
How much do you owe on the house?
$319.
Okay. What's it worth?
Probably about $475, maybe.
All right. Cool. And so you're walking it out. You're fully funding your retirement in baby step 4, correct?
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're trying to figure out is, okay, so we've got this money and it's going to come in probably at one time. So trying to figure out, okay, so we need to fulfill the 3 to 6 months, right? Emergency fund. Right. But then where does it go after that?
Oh, okay. So you don't have a fully funded emergency fund yet.
No, not fully funded.
Okay.
No.
So let's just run the numbers. Okay. So what do you think your tax hit's going to be on that? Have you figured that out?
I think it's probably going to be about 25 to 30%.
Okay. So you just take that number, and so let's just do easy math because I have to take my shoes off to count that high, John. So 30.
Let's take $70,000.
That's my point. So take 70, and you go, okay, what do we need to put into baby step 3, the emergency fund, 3 to 6 months expenses? How much would we have to put in there to get that to where you want it?
Probably 25.
Okay, so now we're dealing with 45,000, correct?
Uh-huh.
So we got 45K. So have you? So now you would look at baby step 5 if you got kids. You got kids?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess
one 8-year-old.
One 8-year-old. Okay, so certainly getting that college, ESA or a 529, even if it's a little bit, we'd love for you to get with one of our SmartVestor pros. This is where I want you to talk to them about what that would look like, but I'd certainly look at a contribution there.
Yeah, even if it's small, put a little bit in.
To get it started.
Just as the principal, right?
Yeah, because now all of a sudden you've fast-forwarded into baby step 5, and then monthly you're going to start taking 15% of your income, right, take home, and putting that to retirement. So now you're working on baby step 5 and 6, and so I'd look at a nice chunk on the house if it were me.
I'd put the rest. Tell me if you're struggling with this, Mark.
I would celebrate a little bit. That was my only thing.
Yes,
take a little bit here and let's enjoy some of it.
Yes. There's this feeling, and it's happened to me. You get a check, you did really well, and a thing happened, and we have this imaginary ticker running in the back of our mind, which is, if I could just get a $100,000 check. And then when we do what Ken just did, it's kind of deflating.
Oh, taxes suck.
Then $30,000 goes to the government, and then this goes to the emergency fund, and you end up with like $5,000 to play with, and that kind of sucks, right? Let's be honest.
Right. Yeah.
You would think that a $100,000 check solves all of our problems, and it just doesn't. And it doesn't.
I'm buying an island.
That's right.
No.
And we're not.
No.
So here's the thing. Feel good. Celebrate with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Go do something. Have a fun weekend. But you're going to just keep tracking these same baby step principles, right? In the same way as though you got this over the course of a year, and you're going to take 15% of it and put it in here. You're going to give some of it away. You're going to put some of it into, even if it's $500 or $5,000 into your kid's college. You're going to start crushing this house.
Yeah.
You're going to start crushing this house, and let's get the house over. Let's have an even better year this year. Let's get a $125,000 commission check this
That's what I
year.
wanted to do a quick follow-up on.
Yeah,
all right,
go for it.
So, Mark, what are the chances that you're going to get another big old commission check like that in the near future now that you know what it's like to scale that mountain? Don't be overly humble. Don't be cautious. What are the real chances that you're going to hit another one of these big boys?
I think it's realistic that you could do one a year.
All right, then. So think of the progress that you just made with this breakdown we just walked you through and go, hey, I've done it before. I can do it again. And next time, I fully fund the kids' college, and then I pay off more of the house, and I have no house payment. Now, all of a sudden, the next time I get the check.
Now we're buying an island.
Now we buy the island.
Hey, what's your salary, Mark? What's your annual salary?
Combined, it's probably 140 to 160. Mine's probably about 100, 110.
Okay.
So you got 140, 150, and then this commission check comes in on top of that?
Yeah.
So I think you could sit down with the math, my brother. Once you have your emergency fund full, you owe nobody anything except for this house. I think you can have your house paid off in 2 years.
Yeah. Now it's stupid.
2 years, man. You owe nobody anything.
Crazy fun.
And so how do you divvy up then the 401ks and all that stuff and the Roth and all that?
That's a SmartVestor Pro. So we want you to go interview minimum 3 SmartVestor Pros in the Phoenix area. Okay. And you want to, and Dave has said this a million times, so I'm just repeating Dave's advice. You want to meet with several because you want to figure out the one that's the best fit for you personally. They need to feel like a coach. Heart of the coach is the attribute that Dave has driven in our SmartVestor Pros and that team that works with these fine women and men. Secondly, not only do they have the heart of a coach, are they explaining it well to you to where you understand? They're not just telling you what to do, but you go, oh, I get it. And so sit down with them on the 529 or the ESA for your child because you got some money to get that thing started, and then talk to them about the 15% in retirement. Now you're in baby step 4 the minute we do this. So now we get to our budget. We go, okay, and he's going to give you, or she will give you, a plan to invest the way that Dave teaches. So that's why we want you to meet with a SmartVestor Pro. Go to RamseySolutions.com and search SmartVestor Pro, and there's multiple in Phoenix that'll help you out.
It's real important to go, and this is a sales pitch. I hear, so let me just call that out. It's who I go to. It's who you go. I mean, we use these folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's why. You knock on the door of a random old financial planner and say, I have a $100,000 check.
Their eyes start rolling around in their head.
They see dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. They don't see what's in the best interest of you. And a SmartVestor Pro knows our plan.
That's
they know, hey, the best thing for you long term, which ends up being the best thing for me long term, is to get this house paid off. And then we're going to make some real money on the back end. It's awesome.
Congratulations.
Let's go to Moses in Dallas. What's up, Moses?
Hello.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Outstanding. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So what's up? How can we help?
I'm 20 years old. I'm enrolled in a trade school, currently employed at a dealership. Right now I'm in the parts department, but they plan on moving me into the shop as a technician when I am about a month away from graduation. I am married, and my wife is currently unemployed.
Okay.
Right now I'm sitting at $20 an hour, right? I make about 45 hours in a week. That's about 5 hours of overtime, making around 36 a year. I have 50 grand in debt. 20 of it is a car loan, which I'm about to get it down to 15 because I got some money in savings. I was wanting to know, what are my options? I know one option is sell the car, basically pay off the loan plus some of this out-of-pocket payments that I have to do for the school.
What's your car worth?
I recently looked it up. The minimum is 15. The most I can get is around 20.
And you owe what on it?
15, like 15 flat.
I'd sell it and get yourself a $3,000, $4,000 car because you know how to fix that daggum thing.
Brother, I'd sell that. I'd sell that car ASAP.
Running out of time. I'm going to tell you, Moses, I heard that my wife is not working. She can work. If she can work, she needs to go to work. You're working 45 hours. You can bust it, put another 10 or 15 hours in this season to get out of debt.
That's right.
Until you get that higher paying job. This is about income, I think. You're walking out the baby steps. Keep doing it. Follow the plan. Way to go. I think the wife's got to bring in some income, and you got to bring in more income. And now we fast forward this process.
888-825-5225. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Triple 825-5225. Hey, Ken, we're getting closer and closer. I got a new book coming out, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. We're getting here, man.
Launch day is?
April 19th, and it's still in pre-sale. And I am...
The baby's ready.
Dude, I'm pretty jazzed.
Yeah, that's
pretty
awesome.
Jazzed. It's for everyone. A single 30-year-old looking to sharpen their mind, a 25-year-old who just wants to make friends. How do I get reconnected? A mom who wants to connect with her kids better, people coming out of abusive relationships, everybody.
And the reason is, folks, as I interrupt the author, everybody has a past. Everybody.
That's right.
Everybody.
Yep.
Now, some pasts are nastier and harder than others.
Yep.
But everybody has a past, and turns out it shapes us in the now, but more importantly, unfortunately, has a tremendous amount of undue hold on our future.
That's right.
And I think that's why this book is for everybody. Because everybody, you don't get to walk on the earth and go, wow, I got nothing in my past that affects me in the way I look at the future. You don't get to say
That's
that.
right. It's all her fault. All of it.
Right.
My boss and the boss I had before that and the boss before that, it's all their fault, right? So, hey, here's a cool thing. Let's do this. So this is some inside baseball, but Kelly's running the show today, and she's encouraged us to give away things today on today's show.
Oh, we love to give away stuff because most of the time we're giving away Dave's stuff.
So I want to give away something of yours. Can I give away something of yours?
I feel like that's fair. What do you want to do?
Okay, so if you pre-order the book today.
I don't even know, folks. This is very exciting.
If you pre-order the book today.
Today, for $20, by the way. Only
it's going to come with the free month of therapy from BetterHelp. It's going to come with the
audio book.
I feel like it's like for $19.95, and you get, right? It kind of is, actually.
Price down!
That's right. Like it's 4 a.m. in the morning, and we're trying to sell you a carpet cleaner.
Right.
But
you read the book to people. You don't tell people now that 1 month of BetterHelp is incredible.
Yeah,
but then they get the audio book.
Right. And
they get the ebook. Plus,
let's do this. So one of the things when people close the book, and not everybody, in fact, most won't.
I'm going to close it.
You close the book and you say, today's going to be the day. Like, I agree that I'm worth being well. I'm worth more in my marriage. I don't want my heart to beat out of my chest when my husband drives up the driveway anymore. I want to not walk past my kid's bedroom and they can't look at me. I'm ready to make some changes. Some of you are going to pick up a phone and call BetterHelp and say, I'm going to go talk to a counselor. Others are going to say, I am worth not living in my job like I have been. It's
exactly
time,
right.
and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So can we do this? Can I give away, if you order it today, and this is just me making this up here, so
it's very exciting.
If you do it today, can we give away your career assessment?
Let's do it. So that's a $30 assessment. That's 20 minutes, and you're going to get unbelievable clarity. Get a professional purpose statement. That's the Get Clear assessment that John has just decided
and
to
you're
throw
giving
in
up
there.
your cut on this for it to go out the door.
Hey, John, it's okay. My kids need shoes, but it's going to be all right. $30. that is a product in the store
Yeah.
at RamseySolutions.com. So here's what you got to do. So now I'll tell you what. I'll agree to give away a product. I get no cut, which is fine.
Okay.
I'll eat a little less this month, John, because that's how much I love you, and it's how much I believe in the book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, and I really do. This is great stuff. You got to read it. All right, so here's the deal. You go to RamseySolutions.com, and you order John's book today. It's prominent. You can't miss it. RamseySolutions.com in the store, and click on Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Buy it today. You get all those other goodies, and then you're also going to use the word Ken.
Kelly,
How about that for a code, Kelly?
can you do that?
Yeah, we're going to do RamseySolutions.com. You're in the store. Promo code Ken. The marketing team will figure it out. Promo code Ken, and you get all the goodies of Own Your Past, Change Your Future, all 3 formats. Of 1 month
thanks,
of
man.
counseling,
Cool.
And you'll get the Get Clear career assessment. And if you're clear, give it to somebody who isn't.
Dude, that's fantastic. Thanks for that.
Of course, I'm very excited about
It's
it.
JohnDelody.com, RamseySolutions.com/Ken. I love
No,
that.
don't go to /Ken.
Yeah. Oh, in the. I see what you're saying.
RamseySolutions.com.
When you go to the store, you put the
in
promo
the store,
code. There
the
you go.
promo code is Ken. I know, Kelly. I'm trying to hold his hand. It's just you know.
Let's go to Carrie in St. Louis. What's up, Carrie? How we doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Outstanding. How are you?
Pretty good. So I'm 29 years old. I've worked in sales for 9 years, currently working in outside sales with a coffee company. I'm just really over sales and unsure what I want to do. I do love the product I sell. I really enjoy coffee, and I like the company a lot. I'm just not feeling fulfilled. I am a really good top performer, typically 10%, and I do have like these dream jobs often that I'll make up in my head, but I do change them.
That's okay.
I did take the Get Clear career assessment. My top talents are communication, justice, and execution, and my top passions are promoting, performing, and solving.
Hold on, slow down. Go back to talents. I can't write that fast. I tried.
You've been drinking your coffee all day.
Yeah, and I just sprained my wrist trying to keep up with you. Okay, go ahead. Communication, top talents, communication.
Justice and execution.
Justice and execution. Okay, and then top passions. This is work she loves. Promoting was one. What's the other two?
Performing and solving.
And caffeine.
Yeah, and then your top missional results you want to contribute to the world through work. What was that?
I didn't have those right down. I'd have to look back at those.
Okay, my guess is, are you? Let me ask you this: do you like solving? Because solving was one of your top 3 passions. Do you like solving people problems? Listen to the options here. We got multiple choice. Process problems. Okay, idea problems, or thing problems. Do you understand those 4? Things would be like working on engines. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would definitely say idea problems.
Idea problems.
Like hands down.
Okay, hands down. I like this. Now, for the audience, tell us those top 3 ideas, because you said, I get all these dream job ideas, and then I change my mind. Give me the last 3 that were in your head. Don't try to explain them. Just tell me what they are.
Opening my own coffee shop would be the
there's
top
a surprise.
one. The second one, I did go to esthetician school, so I have my esthetician license. So those are really the 2 that I've enjoyed or, kind of thought about.
Interesting. It's really interesting that when you took your Get Clear career assessment, did you feel like it nailed you? And if it didn't, that's fine, because it's not about my process. It's all about you and answering the questions. Did you feel like it nailed you?
I really did. Yeah, when I read it, I was like, this is me.
Okay. So here's what's interesting. When I hear those ideas, we always want to take those ideas and we want to go, okay, do you have the talent to pull those things off? Communication, justice, and execution. Very quick for the audience that's not used to this language from the Get Clear career assessment. Communication, we obviously know what that means. Justice means you have a talent for identifying right and wrong. You see injustice where others do not see it. You act on it. That's what the idea of justice is. It's a high level of what's right and what's wrong, and then execution's just get her done, as Larry, the cable guy, likes to say, right? Get her done. Okay. So what's interesting is esthetician feels right for that. Coffee shop, if you're running the shop day in and day out, creating a space for people to come and have coffee and communicate, and you are promoting that service or promoting that product, you get really juiced about it, which is why you're really good in sales. You enjoy promoting something you believe in. True or false?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take that purpose statement that you got in your Get Clear assessment, and I want you to take these ideas: coffee shop, esthetician, there's been more, and I want you to look up a job description of those types of jobs or careers, and I want you to just look it up online so that we turn our brain off. Stop overthinking. I want you to look at the job description, and then I want you to look at your purpose statement side by side. And what you're going to see is the purpose statement from the Get Clear assessment is like an overlay that lays over, and you go, wait a second. Does this, being an esthetician, allow me to use what I do best, my talent, to do work I love, to produce results that matter to me? Do you see how that's going to work?
I do.
You start testing it out. And then we go look into it. What's it going to take to get qualified? And then how much is that going to cost? How long is it going to take? That simple process will build a bridge for you to the future that you want. Keep pressing in, and you're going to figure it out.
And switch to decaf. We'll be right back. This week, we announced that our Building Wealth live event is coming to both Vegas and Orlando this May.
Look for John and I at the craps table. It's going to be great.
We're going to... I was going to say, we're going to take down Vegas. I'm going to be in bed by 9:30.
Oh, of course.
I'm not very cool, everybody. Building wealth is a hot topic right now. Everyone and their brother has an opinion on how to do it, whether it's crypto, single stocks, drawing cute pictures on our computers and selling them for trillions of dollars, zero down real estate, and then inflation has everybody freaking out. Join me, Dave Ramsey, Rachel Cruz, George Campbell, and KC Ken Coleman as we unpack these hot topics. Plus, Ken and I are jazzed. We're both going to lead a free bonus session before the main event.
Yep.
We'll talk through...
and John and I are working on being able to bring a tiger to that pre-session.
It's going to be incredible.
So why would you come early? John and I on stage with a tiger.
One of us is going to get eaten. I just have to outrun you, man.
Mauled and maimed. That's worth the ticket price in and of itself.
We'll talk through how to balance your work and relationships so you can live a richer, more fulfilled life. Isn't that what we're all looking for? So get ready, Vegas. Man, a Ramsey event in Vegas.
A tiger.
We're coming to you Thursday, May 5th. Orlando, We're coming your way on Thursday, May 19th. If you're not in these cities, it's okay. We'll announce more dates this fall. Tickets for Building Wealth start at just $25, or you can get a 4-pack for only $60. Incredible deal. Don't wait. The tickets are blown out the door. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events.
I realize the tiger is ridiculous, but what about a boa? Would you wear a pink furry boa?
That's part of my normal speaking.
Oh, it is
outfit
okay.
anyway.
Right.
My it's like more of a
all right.
It's a costume. That's a thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you want to see if John's going to do it, you got to come to Vegas.
There's a 100% chance. Let's go to Laura in St. Louis. What's up, Laura?
Hey, what's up?
We're just rocking on, man. Making this up as we go. How about you?
I'm doing great. I just had a question. So how do I know if my debt payoff date is what it should be? So our debt payoff date is currently June 2026, and we make about $86,000 a year.
So you're...
No, I'm sorry. Pause.
Okay.
Pause that.
Pause.
I don't make $86,000 a year. We make $71,000 or $7,100 a month, and our debt is about $86,000. Sorry.
Okay. So how'd you come up with June 2026 as your payoff date? What information led you to get to that date as the finish line?
Ramsey Solutions, actually. So we're currently in financial peace. So I use the Every Dollar app, and I put in all our date.
So it's kind of a loaded question.
Well, there's a question behind the question.
There is, yeah.
And that question is, you can barely fathom being married in 2026 to this guy, much less being on a debt-free journey. Is that fair?
I mean, he's probably the best person I've ever met, so no.
No, I'm messing with you about him, but this feels like a long, long time, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It just, it's insane.
What do y'all do for a living?
So I work at a university, and my husband is actually a youth and children's pastor.
Awesome. But so your date, Laura, is based on a budget, yes or no?
Yeah.
So what would cause the date to go further into 2026, maybe let's say fall? What would cause that to happen?
I mean, if we weren't diligent in what we're planning to do.
Okay, good
or if
answer.
we took on more debt, which isn't going to happen.
Which isn't going to happen. And let's throw one more out just for logic here. You maybe had to cash flow something, so we did press pause at some point because life happens. Those are your three options,
Sure.
A, B, and C, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we know two of those aren't going to happen. You're not going to stop being diligent, and you're not going to take on debt, so life could happen. So that might change the date. Now, let's do the reverse. What would cause that date of June 2026 to move up to January 2026? What would cause that?
Raises.
Yeah.
Getting second jobs.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's realistic. We have 3 young children under 4.
But that's fine. So getting to the heart of your question, what were you afraid of when you called in today and you say, hey, it seems far away? How do I know if it's accurate? You just answered your own question. That's how you know if my date is accurate. By the way, it's going to move from time to time. But we see historically, John, that people pay it off faster than they originally project.
Hey, Laura, can I press in on you for a minute?
Yeah.
One of the things we often see when we lay the plan out is somebody says, yeah, I see that, but. And you have a yeah, but, which it sounds like you have a picture in your head of what mom and dad and family and 3 kids all look like. And that is not going to be able to move in your mind. That's the way that is. And so what we're going to have to do is work around that variable. And working around that variable has ended us up in 2026. And so what you're going to have to make a decision. Can you not poison the home, you and your husband, and being frustrated and bitter and kicking the couch because y'all can't go on vacation and not going out to eat till 2026? Or can y'all look each other in the eye and say, we're going to shift the picture of what this looks like for 18 months? And we're going to call Aunt Susie to come watch them, and she's going to be all great anyway, and it's going to be weird, and they're going to have to eat beanie weenies or whatever. It's going to happen, and I'm going to get a job. You're getting a second job, and then you're going to mow lawns on the weekend, and for 18 months we're going to live maniacally. And we're going to live outside of our picture so that in 2024 and a half this thing's done. You see what I'm saying? You've boxed yourself into a corner, and you're going to make yourself bonkers because you've made it either or. Either everything goes away, or what I'm saying is, what if you did it for just a minute, for just a season, and you change everything?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's got to shake, and that's what's got to change. Okay? I challenge you. Here's my dare to you, Laura, is to sit down with your husband and say, what if we did things a little bit different for 18 months?
Intensity.
What would that look like? Right? That would be different. Ken, have you had a time in your life when you just ground yourself down for a goal, right?
Yeah.
To get somewhere?
Oh, I'll never forget it. It's one of the funny stories. Dave Ramsey got all fired up in a staff meeting several years ago because he was trying to beat another friend of his company in participation of employees in the Nashville Marathon, half marathon. So Dave and another friend were like, all right, let's see who can get the most. It's all for charity.
Oh,
right?
Employees. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the company would pay your race fee or something like it was something about charity. I've slept since then. He decides to challenge me in front of the entire staff because I said privately, he said, Coleman, you going to run? I go, no. That's for people that are nuts, people that have deep therapy problems. They don't want to go see a counselor, so they go run. All right,
hours a week.
Yeah. So long story short, he guilted me live in a staff meeting in front of everybody. He said Coleman hasn't signed up yet. Ramsey personality doesn't want to contribute to. I mean, literally went after me. It was funny.
Yeah.
So of course, in the moment I caved. Immediately regretted it. But I had 12 weeks to get ready for the half marathon. 12 weeks, and any runner out there knows. That's crazy.
And if you've ever seen the Office episode where they have the great race
Yeah. So
you were Andy.
Yeah. So I called up my good buddy Bill, who you know, who had done triathlons and everything, and I said, "There's only one way that I do what's necessary to not basically walk this thing." And it's you coaching me, because I knew he'd beat me up and I knew he'd hold me accountable and I knew I'd do it.
Yeah.
And he did it. And the training regimen, 6 days a week,
brutal.
It was awful. It was just shy of medieval torture. For me, who doesn't love to run. I love to play sports on that. I just don't like to run. But I remember going, you know what?
2 miles a day.
And I had a goal to break 2 hours. It was a stretch goal.
Yeah.
And we went after it hard. And I remember buckling down going, this is about the goal, and I'm going to intense focus on achieving the goal. And you know what? I didn't think I could do it. I remember when he emailed me the first time the plan, John, and I was reading it. I was like, this is week 1? And then I scrolled down into week 5 and 6 and all this kind of stuff. And I remember telling Stacy, there's no way I finish this training. And I'm going to be okay with being humiliated by Dave Ramsey the rest of my life. But I did it. But I will say credit to a great coach.
I'll say credit to you because you changed the picture. Just for a season.
I did decide
to accomplish a goal.
I decided you're going to have to be intense, so then all in, go. And that's what you prescribed to her.
Everybody, just do the hard thing for a short season.
Yeah.
And it pays off in the long run.
Yeah, that's good.
It's an hour in the books. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions in Nashville, Tennessee, this is The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money, your relationships, your work, pretty much anything and everything at 888-825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Ken Coleman, and we're taking your calls on life. So give us a shout, 888-825-5225. Let's go to Ella in Los Angeles, California. What's up, Ella?
Hi there.
How we doing?
Not too good, to be 100% honest.
Oh, thank you so much for being honest. What's up?
So my husband and I have been married for 4 years, and he has a son from a previous marriage, and it's a really bad, it was a bad divorce. My stepson's almost 10, and they're still in a custody battle, and I found out that my husband, well, we lived out of state, and we moved 3 years ago to be closer to his son, and that was a horrible decision because we don't have any family, but my husband has racked up about $200,000 in debt to his attorney.
Oh my!
And he's on a payment plan of $12,000 a month.
Oh!
And this was all a surprise. I had no idea. I knew something was up, so I went into his email, which I shouldn't have done, and I saw the bill, and I felt like I was going to be sick.
Oh,
and I told him this morning I wanted a divorce. I mean, we've just been fighting all the time over this for the past 3 years. Well, he's been fighting for custody, and he told me that he's not going to stop until he gets full custody. And I had no idea he was filing for full custody, and I don't want full custody of his son because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I would have to be the one to deal with him. And he has some developmental issues. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what they are, but he has a lot of behavioral problems, and I can't take that on, and I don't know what to do. I just feel like crying almost.
Yeah, first one, yes, that's the appropriate response. You're in the middle of a hurricane right now. It's a lot. Crying is a smart, good, healthy thing to do right now. You've got a lot that you just put out there. What can we help you with today?
Well, I'm almost to the point where I want to just, it's really hard to do the debt snowball when he keeps, this attorney's like $600 an hour. It's some high-profile attorney in like Santa Monica. I don't know how we would do the debt snowball when he keeps adding more money, and I also don't want to pay for this because I feel like as a spouse he should have come to me and said, hey, I'm thinking about getting full custody. What do you think?
Listen. We call it financial infidelity here. We call it betrayal everywhere. We call it dishonesty. We call it lying. Whatever word you want to call it. But your guts all over your kitchen floor, that feeling is correct. Part of you was stolen. Part of your relationship was stolen from you. And if I'm him, I don't get the betrayal part. I don't get the dishonesty part. I get I'll go to the ends of the earth for my son. I get that. But that's a conversation you have with your wife, right? Especially to the tune of $200,000. And it's illogical. You can't pay that. And so your feelings are justified and good. What I don't want you doing in the midst of this pain is lobbing grenades back. That doesn't help anybody. I'd love for you to get with some people in your life that you can circle up with and can help you walk through this piece by piece, because there's lots of pieces. This isn't the moment for baby steps. This is the moment for your marriages.
You basically told him this morning you want a divorce, and I understand why you would say that. There's no judgment here, but did you mean it, or did you just throw that out there?
Honestly, these past 3 years, I've probably threatened divorce. Honestly, it's like every other week I'm threatening divorce.
So Ella, let's stop that. Let's stop that.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's don't threaten divorce anymore. Either I've reached the end of what I'm going to tolerate when it comes to the deception and getting dragged through the mud and you living a dual life and your dishonesty, all that. I'm done with that. Or I'm all in on this, but we have to be all in on this together. Like, you got one or two options. Threatening divorce. Yeah. It's a weak, childish play. Don't do that. Yeah. Don't weaponize relationships and make that. Say I'm in or I'm out. And then once you say I'm out, then it becomes a business transaction. And then we're going to go down that road together.
Well, Ella, John's right. We certainly can help anybody get out of debt, but you guys aren't even. We got to reconcile some huge issues here, and one is he's not going to stop fighting for his son. At least that's his position up to this point.
Right.
So we've got to get clear on that, because you're going, I don't want to parent this kid at the house. Forget the money piece.
Yeah.
The money piece is exorbitant, and it's probably going to keep growing. So John's absolutely right. This is a relationship call right now, because then we decide, what do we do with the money? Yeah. I'm just curious, how much money does he make?
Well, he's in the Army Reserves, and he's a real estate agent. So these last 2 years has been really, really good money, but he's only sold one house this month because of everything going up. So last year he made almost $400,000, and we have nothing to show for that.
Right. Are you currently paying the $12,000 in the legal fees? Is he paying on that, or is that just racking up?
He's paying with a credit card, so I think it's just racking up.
Oh,
we have separate finances, so I don't know. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, so he doesn't tell me financially. I have no idea.
Hey, Ella,
let me know anything.
Ella, are you safe?
He's not. I'm sorry.
Ella, are you safe?
He's not physically abusive, but it's like he doesn't. We have an age gap, and it's like he treats me like I'm his child, and all my family wants me to leave him, but I don't want to do that to my kids, because I promised myself I wouldn't let my kids go through my childhood. But I'm 24 and he's 49, or almost 49.
Okay. So I am never, ever going to tell, and if somebody's in the midst of unsafe abuse, I'm going to tell somebody to get out. Okay. I'm not going to tell you to pull the trigger here. I don't know necessarily that I agree. I think that there's harder things going on in your home than you're saying out loud. Is that fair?
Yes, that is.
Okay. I want you to call somebody today. And if you've got family members who say, we love you, and we're seeing something that you're not seeing, what you're hanging on to is a picture of a fantasy that you created because you don't want your kids to experience what you did, which is beautiful and great and good. I'm glad you did that. The reality is your picture has changed. Full stop. And now the question is, are you going to hang on to that old picture and drown and bring them with you? Or are you going to create something new?
Yeah.
ASAP. And most of us, when we're drowning, we cannot get out by ourselves. We need other people. And you've got people around you saying, hey, we're going to help, we're going to help, we're going to help. Please lean on them.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree. And I would just say, Ella, you cannot fix this marriage on your own.
Absolutely not.
Your husband you can't put that glass back together on your own. I think it's not a threat, but I think we got to see if he wants this marriage.
I can tell you right now, he doesn't, right? He wants a daughter, and that's not you.
Yeah.
It's time for you to reach out to your family, and y'all start making a game plan of what comes next. And if you are being hurt, get out. You're worth more. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com.
Triple 825-5225. Let's go to Christopher in Spokane, Washington. What's up, Christopher?
Hey, a quick question. I guess I'm going to try to make it quick. So I'm a local truck driver and work at nighttime delivering pizzas, but I have an opportunity to leave Washington State, go to Alaska, work for summer. And it's seasonal work. I'd be dropping my local truck driving job to go to Alaska.
Is it a fishing job?
No.
Okay. I had a buddy that did
for
that
the cruise
once.
industry.
For the cruise industry?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's the payoff? If I go to Alaska, what happens?
So if I go to Alaska, I can pay off all my debt by October and have $10,000 when I come home.
How old are you?
34.
Are you married?
No.
No kids?
No kids.
But you were saying, and we cut you off. But finish the sentence.
But I would be losing my health benefits and everything, and I would be pretty much jobless and homeless when I get done with
Okay, first of all right, that's a little dramatic. Okay.
Christopher,
come on.
You scorched earth, and I'm going to be homeless, and no one will love me, and my grandma's going to take her socks back.
Well, wait a second. You're going to be debt-free. You're going to have $10,000 going towards your emergency fund, which is baby step 3. What is 3 to 6 months based on your current income?
Current income?
Yeah, what's 3 to 6 months expenses?
Probably $8,000.
Okay, wait a second. So now we come back from Alaska. We have no debt. We have a fully funded, let's call it 3 months. Is that based on 3 months, I'm guessing? The $8,000?
And I'd probably use that money.
You what?
I would use that money when I come back to get a home.
No, you would not. No, you're being melodramatic. I'm going to show you how. So stay with me in my narrative. We'll get to your narrative if you don't like my narrative. All right?
Our pets' heads are falling off. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, man, the sky is falling. Okay, so listen. You come back and you've got $8,000 in your emergency fund. You got $2,000 left over. So we know you're not going to be under a bridge starving. You're going to at least have plenty of lifetime supply of ramen noodles for $2,000. Okay, so here's my point. You also are in a high demand job as a truck driver. True or false?
True.
You also will have communication instruments, otherwise known as phone and email, while you're in Alaska. True or false?
Or pigeon in small piece of paper.
Fair. I mean, for heaven's sakes, you got to hire a dog to deliver a message. All right, so you can communicate back in your area and go, hey, and it's possible that your current employer may need you back because you're not a jerk and you do a good job. Is that true or false?
That could be true.
All right, dude, come on.
So what's the hang up? Like
yeah.
You sound like someone's forcing you to do this.
No, I'm just wondering if it's worth doing because I'll be dropping where here I pay rent and everything else and food and everything, but in Alaska I won't be paying that.
Right, so you're pocketing even more money.
So if you don't go, how long until you pay your debt off?
That's the question.
I would say 18 months.
All right, then. So do you want to pay it off faster or in 18 months?
Faster.
Then go to Alaska and eat some great salmon.
And then don't cut your arm off because you don't have any health insurance.
Yeah, I mean, you're okay. You could self-fund any health needs.
So, man,
you're on a cruise ship.
But if I have a really bad gallbladder and
wait a
probably
second.
need it removed.
Do you have a bad gallbladder or a history of gallbladder?
I do.
Okay.
Then maybe not having insurance is not the plan for you.
So then don't do it. We're not telling you to be risky, but let's play this out, though. Are you talking with a doctor now? Are you in care right now to where they're going, we may have to remove your gallbladder in the next year, 2 years? I mean, tell us what the doctors are telling you.
They just they told me that it could go, it could not go. If you eat healthy, then you could potentially have your same gallbladder or the gallbladder forever if you just eat healthy.
Well, you could be talking about me right now, and I've not been diagnosed with any gallbladder issues that I'm aware of, knock on wood. I mean, as I hope it stays. But here's the deal. What would a gallbladder surgery cost you without insurance?
Maybe $10,000.
All right, then. So you start weighing, do I want to go to Alaska or not? I mean, the thing is that there's a small chance that could happen, I guess. But at that point, you go, okay, well, could I afford it?
And you're also, Christopher, man, you're talking a few months to pay this off, right? As you say, October versus a year and a half. I think this is a different conversation if it's 6 years or
that's true.
8 months. Then I would tell you, dude, you roll the dice, you live once, right now, man, it's 6 one way, half dozen another.
I agree. If you're worried about the risk of the gallbladder stuff and being saddled with a $10,000 bill, then don't do it.
I would go.
I personally would. I'd eat really good.
I would. Well, I don't know, man. I may blow my gallbladder up on a cruise ship.
Not me.
No?
If I knew my gallbladder might blow up, I'm going to the Google and I'm going, what's the good gallbladder stuff?
Dude, but they have those cheesecake buffets, man.
Well, the buffets are an issue. I agree.
My gallbladder wouldn't make it. Let's go to Brendan in Chicago. What's up, Brendan?
Hey, can you hear me?
Of course, man. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Outstanding. How can we help?
So I'm calling because I just have a full rounded question. I'm about 30 years old, and I'm contemplating whether I need to rent more or finally settle down and buy a home, and then even furthermore, what state that home is in. I'm living in Chicago now. I'm from suburban Philadelphia, and basically I have some family issues in Philadelphia and have a lucrative, what I think is lucrative job in Chicago. And I'm just wondering, do I buy a home outside of Philadelphia or do I stay in Chicago where I've been doing well? I've been in Chicago about 8 years, and I have a remote position now at a market research company. And I'm wondering, do I finally head home, be closer to my family, or stay in Chicago and kind of be this shadow figure where I kind of help support my family remote. So that's what I'm weighing right now.
So there's a lot to this question. We'll dig into a little bit here, but I'm going to hold you over the break because there's a lot we can pull from this call. Real quick, I think just to get out of the gate, can you afford to buy a house right now? You have 10 to 20% down in a fully funded emergency fund?
So right now I make $90,000 a year and I have about $32,000 in the bank. I got approved for a loan that would kind of land my mortgage around $1,500, $1,400 a month.
So here's the principles.
I'm renting a little above that.
Okay, so that's a fallacy. I'm more concerned with if that $1,400 that is below your 25% take home pay. Do you have any other debt?
No.
Okay, so you're debt free, right?
What's the lucrative position in Philadelphia going to pay you?
No, he's lucrative in Chicago.
It's not. There's
Philadelphia, where he was born and raised.
Sorry, I misunderstood. I apologize. So going back to Philadelphia, we'd have to try to find a job that pays you what you're making now.
Exactly. And one of the, drivers of me staying in Chicago is I have this, maybe it's a fallacy belief that marketing jobs are easier to find in Chicago versus Philadelphia.
Yeah, that is a fallacy.
I last time I lived in Philadelphia was, 7-8 years ago, and I was struggling to find work. I went out, kind of got my life together, sobered up, found work, got my life straightened out, and I'm doing well.
All right, Brendan, hold on. Hang on. I'm going to stop you right here because you're going to come back. We're going to put you on hold, and we're going to bring you back after the break. And so remember where we stopped here. You got sober, you're doing well, and then there's a ... We'll be right back. Okay, brother? Stay tuned, everybody. It's The Ramsey Show.
If you're not using Pure Talk for your wireless, you're paying too much. Pure Talk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to puretalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month.
Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined by Ken Coleman. So we're going to go back to Chicago to speak to our friend Brendan. Brendan, you called to talk about potentially transitioning from a new life you've created in Chicago, where you're making great money, you're in a career you love, where you found sobriety, where you found you've created a new world over the last 8 to 10 years. And you're considering moving back to Philadelphia, where your family lives, where your home was. And so we've talked a little bit about the money. It sounds off the top of our heads, just doing off the top of our head math, that you can buy a house, you could afford a house. Here's my big question, brother. Like, why do you feel this pull to go back to Philadelphia?
So I feel the pull because when I left, I was struggling. I was drinking a lot. My mental health was horrible. I was in a bad position. But I'm one of 6 kids, and my dad remarried. But basically all 6 of us have our issues. And I left, got it together, and always thought, maybe leaving my siblings back, around home, they'd eventually just grow up. 5 to 10 years goes by, I get it together, And actually, just like this past year, one of my step siblings hung herself. And I look at the remaining siblings, there isn't a dime between any of them. And they haven't progressed the way I worry about them. I just worry about them. And my dad's getting old now. He's not working anymore. He lost his job. And I don't know how to help. I want to help financially. That's my main push to further my career. But I feel Chicago is this gold mine of like successful businesses and marketing opportunities. Like, you know, it seems like things have been doing well for me selfishly in Chicago. Yeah. And then everything is kind of right where it was in Philly. So, and actually, I'm with my girlfriend now, and I just went back, looked at homes, and, you know, all these roads, they kind of made me queasy, flashbacks
there you go.
to
So,
home life.
Brendan, let me hop in here. And I'm going to turn over to Ken to talk about the career aspect. But mental health and relational health, all those challenges are almost, not always, often environmental. They're contextual. And you were able to summon the strength, the courage, whether somebody went with you, whether you saw a pinhole of a light somewhere way down the road and you got out. And getting out let you breathe new air and walk on new grass and be around new people and try new things and stand up a little bit taller. My fear is you're going to go home and you're going to go back to an environment that made you sick in the first place. And in fact, you've said the words, it's like time stood still. Everybody's exactly where they were, except my dad's older now. And so there's nothing about re-entering that war zone for you that makes sense. And I also get the idea that you found your way, you swam through a swamp to get to a boat, and you're watching your brothers and sisters drown, and you can't stand that either. So you're stuck. Am I on the right path?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah. You know, but I worry if this continues, you know, what if the incident of this past year, you know, what if that's not the end? Like, what if that's not the straw that broke the camel's back? What if it just gets worse and then I'm 800 miles away, you know?
Can I ask you a hard question?
I can, you know, transfer them money and stuff.
No.
All I want, you know.
Brendan, this isn't about money, brother. I'm going to ask you a hard question, okay? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? Fast forward, you buy a house in Philadelphia.
Am I even equipped to like start coaching them?
The answer is no.
The answer is no. Brendan, here's two things I want to set you free on. Number one, you cannot fix these problems. Would you agree with that? You don't have the power to fix all of these problems. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Right,
I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I
know, but here's the deal.
I'm an idiot, all said and done. Yeah.
No, you're not.
You're not.
No, you're not. But here's the deal.
Incredible young man.
Second question.
All I'm saying is I'm not equipped.
There you go.
I get it. Good. So the answer is yes. Second question.
Yeah.
Can you be influential in the lives of some of those family members? That is true.
There we go.
But here's the other thing, and I'll give it back to John, who can explain why I'm asking these questions. I just know what I'm supposed to ask.
Yeah, that's great.
Here's the thing. Brendan, you cannot be influential if you are broken. And you've gotten yourself healthy. You have recovered. You are getting healthier and stronger every day, making good money, potential to make more money. You have the opportunity because of your healthiness to be a greater influence on your family in Chicago, in the life that you're in now. That's what I think.
Take yourself back, Brendan, when you were drinking. If someone just threw $10,000 at you, would that have solved any of your problems?
No, I would have drank it away
there we go.
You know, a few weeks.
That's right.
So you don't owe them any money either. You got to be smart for you.
So here's what I would love to do. It sounds to me like you've got stability and health, as Ken, he eloquently said. He's much more eloquent than me. You've got stability. You've got community. You've got a girlfriend. You've got life here. From this place, you can anchor in, then you've got a place where you can say, hey, brothers and sisters,
yes,
if you need 3 months to get your feet underneath you, I have a bedroom.
That's right.
And here's the rules of my bedroom. There was no drugs here. There's no whatever here. There's food, and there is an opportunity. You're going to go apply for jobs. And you can provide a platform for them to go get healthy. You cannot make them get healthy. And there is no deeper pain than watching people you love decide, I don't want to be healthy.
Yep.
But going back into the sewer with them, brother, there's 6 of them, 5 of them. You're going to drown. And it's not even their fault, man. You hear what we're saying?
Yeah, but you're voicing like my better judgment and what I want to do. It's just, why does my platform, can't my platform be like 100 miles away instead of 800, or like something that they can drive to within a couple?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What we're not saying that Chicago is the only place you can be healthy. What we're saying is, don't sacrifice the gains that you've made, the health and the stability that you have built for yourself. Don't sacrifice it because you feel bad. Let me tell you this. I think you need to be a lighthouse, not an ambulance. And so if you want to be a lighthouse 100 miles away, great. But what has to be true for that to be true, Brendan? You got to go get a really great marketing job in Delaware, and I don't know that area super well, but you can get a great marketing job in Pittsburgh. But the point is that John pointed out beautifully that the streets of Philadelphia are great for Rocky. They're not great for you.
Right. Brendan? Yeah. I consider myself relatively stable, which is that's hard to say out loud, but pretty good. Did you know my wife, she can tell what generation of friend I'm talking to on the phone?
Wow.
By the language I use.
Wow.
And I roll back into 30 years ago when I talked to the boys I grew up with on the same street. I love them to death. They're my brothers. We've bled together. We've laughed together. We've snuck out. We've done crazy things together. And I start swearing like an 11-year-old third grader. It becomes and I'm well, brother, and you are too. Yeah. But our homes, it's just a part of it, and I have to really be conscious when I talk to my friends and say, no, I'm a different guy now. This is who I am, and that pull, brother, you're not there. You're just driving on the road and you feel it in your stomach. That's your body saying, not here, not here. Hear me say this: you can only be well. I mean, you can only help your brothers and sisters. Yeah. If you're well.
Be a lighthouse.
That's it. And I also want to say this. I'm so grateful for your heart.
Yes.
What a stud. Absolute great heart.
Coming up next, John's going to break down the potty mouth of an 11-year-old third grader because the audience wants to know. I didn't know that they cussed like sailors, but you apparently said so we got to figure that out.
I'll fix that.
11-year-old third grader.
Oh,
what?
I stepped in it. We'll be right back. This is the Ramsey Show. All right, so that last segment, I said that when I was an 11-year-old third grader, I swore too much.
So what's factually true? You swore too much, or you weren't an 11-year-old third? Were you 11 in the third grade?
I was not 11 in the third grade. I have an 11-year-old sixth grader.
Right, yeah.
And I just whiffed.
That's fine. It was funny. It was funny. This is live. People understand that you're live, and sometimes your brain gets going a little too fast, and your mouth can't catch up.
That was the case when I was a regular 8 or 9-year-old third grader.
Right.
I did swear way too much.
Did you?
Oh man, Stand By Me came out, man.
Oh,
it's the greatest movie ever.
Great movie. Did teach a generation of kids to swear. There's no question.
How to talk right. Yeah. And the Major League came out. It was just movies after movies, man.
League.
I'm just a product of entertainment. I'm going to blame them. Let's go to Emily in Vancouver. What is up, Emily?
Hey, John and Ken.
How are you?
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
What's up?
Good. I actually have a career dilemma. I currently am debating if I should go to graduate school for physical therapy and end up being $150,000 to $200,000 in debt with a starting salary of around $75,000.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
No, you should not.
No.
Or what's the or?
Or if I should find a new career path.
Okay, well,
you've either or'd yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if that's even the right choice. But let me ask this. Couple questions, walk you through this. Why physical therapy? Why do you want to do physical therapy? Give me the why.
I really love it. It's something that I've worked really hard to get into this school.
What do you love about physical therapy? Describe what you love about that work. I want you to picture yourself working with a patient, and you're walking them through it. What gives you that juice? What is it about that?
I love the personal relationships that you get to build with your patients.
Good. What else?
And helping them like rehabilitate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you've worked really. Go ahead. Keep going. And
probably just the fact that it is like a really good career and it does provide like that job security.
Right. But I can tell you this, if you're $150,000 to $200,000 in debt, $75,000 is going to feel like $7.50 an hour. That's what it's going to feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Emily,
it's not worth that.
I'll free you from this. I've sat with doctors of physical therapy who owe their souls in student loans, and they make $75,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
It is not.
It's not worth it. So now let's talk about what can you do physical therapy? Can you do that training for way less? Or is that the price everywhere you go? And I ask that because I'm ignorant of what it costs to get trained to be a physical therapist.
It doesn't cost that much everywhere, but you have to get into the program, and it's like a year-long process.
That doesn't matter. That should not deter you.
Nope.
12 months of waiting or 24 months of waiting to do this work that's going to be there and to be able to cash flow it. So give me the lowest price out there in the United States, lowest price to become a physical therapist, the training.
Oh, I'd say maybe like 60 to 80,000.
Okay. And now let's pause on physical therapy. You said, or should I do another career? I'm curious what the other option was in your mind.
That's the problem. I don't have another option yet.
Okay. So let me take you down a path. Do you remember just moments ago you described very beautifully, you gave me 3 descriptions of why you like physical therapy. You remember that? You remember defining it for me?
Yep.
All right, let me ask you this. Have you ever written those reasons down and written them down so you could see them? And then have you looked into other jobs and careers that would allow you to do that kind of work? Does not have to be in a moment of physical therapy where I'm helping someone who broke their thumb learn how to get full range of motion again. I had to do that one time, broke my thumb, got a scar right here, had to, tore the ligament, and went through physical therapy. I've done it. That person helped me regain total. I get that. Outside of that context, what you described as the work you love, where else could you do that kind of work? Have you examined that?
I have not, no.
And that's your homework assignment. And here's why. Number one, you can save up the money and cash flow your way through a $60,000 program. You can do that. It's going to take time. And that sucks, John. Mm-hmm. It sucks to wait.
The worst.
Nobody wants to wait. If I said to you, Emily, are you willing to do whatever it takes to be a physical therapist? What would you say?
I would say maybe. And the reason why is because it's a 3-year program. I'm already 24. By the time I graduate, I'm going to be close to 28. Like, I want a family, dude.
Well, listen, I love that. But you're assuming that you can't have a family while you pursue what you want to do. You've got this narrative that is completely false. I'm glad you acknowledged that. Yeah. But my gosh, 28? You're talking to a dude who turns 48 this year. Spare me the I'm going to be 28, dude comment. I'm not having it today because I'm on your team, Emily. All right, now let's keep going here. Here's what I was getting at. Most people say yes to that. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. What we as humans, me included, John included, what we aren't willing to do is to wait as long as it takes. So we got to look at, I got some very clear goals. I want to be a mama, or I want to be married. Whatever your family goals are. Those are equally as important as your work desires, more so. So we go, okay, can I have it all? I think the answer is unequivocally yes, Emily, but I do know this. You cannot have it all at the same time. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
All right, then. It's time to be a big girl. Now, part of being a big girl is going, what else could I do besides being a physical therapist that wouldn't cost me $60? For instance, what other type of work could you be helping people with their physical development and thus their emotional and maybe mental health by guiding them like a physical therapist would? Give me one just off the top of your head, because you're a smart lady. What's another possible career? Forget about what you know and don't know, but where you could do similar work, but it's not physical therapy. Give me one idea.
Personal trainer.
Boom. I'm not saying that's your thing. I'm saying your homework assignment is to begin to explore and see what, and here's your first homework assignment. I want you to write down, to the best of your memory, those 3 reasons why you are intrigued or you love the idea of physical therapy. Because, see, that speaks to your soul. I don't care about the career path. I don't care about the title of the job. I care, are you doing work that you love and you see some values connected to it? I want you to write that down. Then I want you to begin to look. Okay, personal trainer. Okay, what else? Give me one more. John, you can pipe in if you want. Give me one more idea that is in that same lane, if you will, of the work of physical therapists. Give me another idea.
Athletic trainer.
Athletic trainer. Okay, personal trainer, athletic trainer. Sure. Working with a team.
Right.
Of volleyball players or football players or baseball players or whatever. And you are individually working and connecting with these people to help them to advance. So I want you to begin to see what the world looks like. And then I also want you, I'm giving her lots of homework, John. I also want you to start researching schools. And then what would it take for you to save up $60,000 to get licensed or certified to be a physical therapist? And who cares if it's 3 years from now?
So there's 2 important takeaways. One is an experience that my wife had. She was talking to 2 really smart folks, and they were in their 30s. I think they were 35, and they were talking about, we wish we'd gone to med school. And husband was like, yeah, I wish we'd gone to med school. We should have, man. But if we went now, we'd be 42. My wife, because she's wise, she said, the question is not, should we have gone to medical school? The question is, you're both going to be 42 someday. Do you want to be doctors or not when you're 42?
That's exactly right.
That's the question.
That's right.
You're going to get there. And the second thing is, ask your friends who are physical therapists if that was a great job when all of the physical therapy shops got shut down during COVID. Every job's a great job forever until it's not.
Also, talk to a physical therapist who's drowning in debt. See how happy they are.
They're not. They're not. You can do it, Emily. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, Ken Coleman here. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Get your daily dose of advice on life and money. Check out all of our shows from the Ramsey Network wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is The Ramsey Show from Nashville, Tennessee, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money, your life, your relationships, your work, your purpose, everything. Give us a shout, 888-825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Ken Coleman, and we're taking your calls live about just about anything. Whatever's going on in your heart and mind, give us a shout, 888-825-5225. Let's go to Lori in Connecticut. What's up, Lori? How we doing?
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. So I have so much going on right now that I don't even know where to begin. But I guess the main purpose of my call is my husband and I are separated, and I'm sure we're going to be, heading for a divorce. And I'm going to be moving out of the house we live in now to a new home. And I haven't, figured out exactly the details of that. But one thing I'm wondering, should I rent or buy a house? Like, I hear all the time how rents are going up and there's so many crazy prices, and it's not good to do that. And I kind of like the idea of buying a house and getting a little bit more settled and that kind of thing. So that was like one of my questions. Can you give me any advice on that?
I would absolutely 100% not buy a house until this divorce is 6 months to a year in your rearview mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
even though you're separated.
Do not.
It's about to shake your world like a snow globe. I've got people in my life that I'm walking through that with. They will ask questions, and you'll produce documents from years before and text you didn't even remember. It's going to shake everything. Make sure you want to be where you want to be and how you want to be, and that you can afford to be where you want. All that stuff, I wouldn't buy anything until this thing has a period at the end of it, and you are on your way to healing, and then you can say, okay, what comes next? So rent.
And Lori, renting is not a silly proposition, because you just mentioned stability in the form of a home, but I will tell you that stability is safe, warm, right? Place to lay your head down at night, you and the kids. So until everything shakes out financially, there's no way you can even plan for that until all this stuff gets. John's absolutely right. So I want you to understand that renting is stability in this particular situation, as opposed to trying to get into a major debt situation with a house and everything up in the air, not to mention your emotions that John was talking about. So stability in this case is renting.
It's freedom. So what's your next question?
Okay, so then the next thing, everything seems to happen at once. So I'm going to be getting laid off from my job in like two months.
I'm so sorry.
It's all, this whole COVID thing, and, departments getting eliminated, that whole thing. And so, I'm having a real hard time focusing on finding another job with everything else going on.
Sure.
And can you help direct me get started on that?
Yeah. All right, let's just start with, because again, normally I would coach someone, Lori, and by the way, I'm going to give you my Get Clear career assessment. I'm going to give you From Paycheck to Purpose. These are resources that I want you to take your time and go through. And normally I would say, okay, let's get really clear on what you do best. That's talent. What kind of work do you love? That's passion. And then what results do you want your work to create? But I think there's so much going on with you. I think it's going to be really hard to be clear. So what I would focus on first is talent alone. All right? Because see, talent, think of talent as your skills that you have developed over your working life. You've got personal skills as well. So hard skills, people skills. And think of those skills plus your experience as assets or tools to be able to do work that is valuable. And you've got that. You have talent and you've got experience that's transferable. True or false?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It's just more the focus and, the figuring out, piece and the...
yeah, but here's the deal. The focus is on the jobs that you have the talent and experience to do. That's what I'm trying to help you do. I don't want you thinking about your dream job right now. I normally I do that with folks, not folks that are going through major emotional trauma.
And hey, I want to hop in. That's the word that Ken just used is correct.
Yeah.
And Lori, one of the most traumatic things a human can go through is divorce.
Yep.
One of the most traumatic things a human can go through is the loss of their job. One of the most traumatic things a human can go through is the loss of their home. And you're experiencing all of this at the same time.
Yes.
So when you think, I can't focus, it's everything spinning around, that's because your body is in fight or flight. Mm-hmm. And it is running or hiding or swinging at everything. Probably a mix of both, or all three. Am I right?
Right, yeah, because if I'm not focused on, one thing, I'm focused on the other thing, what I mean?
But Lori,
so
listen,
that's right.
You don't have a choice but to focus on, your good news is you got a 2-month head start.
That's right.
But your full-time job, outside of your regular job right now and being a mama and a wife who's going through divorce, is I need to get my skills and my experience aligned to go, all right, what are the jobs in Hartford, Connecticut, or wherever you're going? What are the jobs that are posted right now? We are in the hottest job market in the history of the United States, Lori. I want to encourage you. This isn't a motivational speech from me. We are at the lowest unemployment rate in the history of the collection of the data.
Right.
People need you, Lori. There are companies that will bend over backwards for you. You might get a nice raise out of this deal, but you are focused on only one thing. I have talent and I've got experience. What is that? Make a list. John can speak to this. It's a powerful psychological tool to get out of your head.
That's right.
And write it down. So a quick example. Give it back to John. Write down 3 to 5 of your top skills. I don't care if they're people-oriented or technical in nature. Just write them down. And then go. Okay. And then I want you to write down what your most valuable experience is. Think of your entire work life. This is very valuable experience. And what you've got there is a really rough draft of a job description. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
Because here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take out the focus issue and just go, oh, it's right there. And I got to look for jobs that are available right now that match up to what I just wrote down and then pay what I need to make.
And
and it's discouraging if you apply for something that you know you're qualified for, probably even overqualified for, and they're like, they don't reply. It's like, oh my God, another blow. So.
Well, and right now your brain is so highly attuned to rejection and loss. And so every one of those is going to not feel like the mosquito bite it is. It's going to feel like a punch in the nose. And there's this old developmental tool called Maslow's hierarchy. Yeah. When I get like you, and I've never experienced what you're going through, but when I feel like it's all chaotic and I have to make 1,000 decisions at once and I'm struggling and I'm hurting and I'm experiencing loss, all that, I know enough to know about neurology or neuroscience that I can't do this by myself. Mm-hmm. The greatest leveling tool you can have, the greatest thing that helps your heart rate slow down a little bit is other people.
That's it.
So I want you to reach out to somebody or 2 people or 3 people and say, I need you to walk through hell with me over the next 3 months. Can I count on you 3?
And oh, by the way, 10 times that amount to go, hey, I'm getting laid off in 2 months. Here's what I do best. Here's the experience I have. Will you help me find a great gig? Lean on relationships. That's where jobs come from.
Go to relationships. Go to relationships. Yep. That's right. Hey, we're thinking about you.
So sorry.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promo codes they run every month, you'll save even more. Use promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Kanaya in Michigan. I'm in my last year of college and work for my parents at their bowling center. I have been working there since high school and I'm ready to move on. My career goal is to work in communications and broadcasting, and I found a full-time opportunity at a local radio station. Between this opportunity and my school schedule, all of my time will be booked, which would help me get out of working at the bowling alley. My parents have said that if I live under their roof, I have to work for them. So if I were to quit, I will need to be ready to also be out on my own. This is not a horrible thought because I want to experience life on my own. If you were in my situation, what would you do? Well, I'm torn with this question, Kanaya, because I got to tell you, as a high schooler, I would have loved to have worked at a bowling alley. Just a little side note that has nothing to do with my answer.
What are you doing, Kanaya? This is a dream.
I'd
move out.
I would move out personally because everything about this is check box, check the box, check the box, check the box. Yeah. And I don't like mom and dad's position, and I'd also call BS on them. I'd call their bluff. That's just me, but I have issues with authority. Again, being transparent.
Right.
I don't believe them, but that's not about advice. I just don't believe them. I do it. And if we can help you with budgeting, the Every Dollar app, you need to grab this kind of stuff now and learn this. And go, okay, I got a great gig that's getting me in the world that I want to be in. I'd go.
So this is the way
Go West, young man.
I tell young folks is when you're going to make grown-up decisions, you have to have they come with grown-up decisions, come with grown-up consequences. So I'm going to move, and I think that's the right thing to do. I think you should move out here, and it's going to come with bills,
that's right,
and rent, and food, and all the things. And so let's prepare like a grown-up, right? Not like a child. Let's get a budgeting app.
Right.
Let's get some people in our corner and let's figure this thing out. Or go get a roommate, man. Go look around and get a roommate. Or, this is going to sound bonkers, this happened every year I worked in universities. Seniors move back their senior year on campus. It's all taken care of. Move back if you can afford it, right? Find a place. You'll find a place to live.
Or, hey, pay mom and dad some rent. See how they throw that one at them. Make them say no to that.
This sounds like a mom and dad power move, which
it's 100% a flex.
It's it grinds on me a little bit. Like, let your senior, whatever.
I don't like it.
I don't either. Let's go to Nick in Cincinnati. What's up, brother Nick?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good, my man. What's up?
I know you guys' time's precious, so I'll get into it.
We're here for you, man.
Yeah.
What's up?
So I got introduced to Total Money Makeover back at the end of 2020. 2021, and at the time, naturally, I had credit card debt, car payment, mortgage. 2021, my finances got worse due to the loss of overtime. I lost probably 30 to 40% of my income over the course of 2021. And naturally, because of that, I wasn't able to, stay current with credit cards. Flash forward, I'm in a situation now. I've got a plan on trying to get out of things. I really would like y'all's advice on, what you guys think of my plan. Give me some criticism and maybe just help me make a better decision. So money number wise, I got a $150,000 mortgage. I owe about $14,000 on my car, and I got about another $15,000 in credit card debt. I don't make enough right now, my base salary, to keep the credit cards current. With that being said, basically all my money every month is going towards the house and going towards our car payments. I live in an old house, so my utilities are pretty high. My mortgage is pretty high for my income, and I'm skimming by. I get a couple $100 left every paycheck.
Is it just you?
So there's me, my wife, I got a 2-year-old son, and my in-laws. I'm working.
Well, hold on. Your in-laws live with you as well?
Yes.
Are they not helping out with mortgage?
Yeah, they do. They pay rent, but basically the rent money I get from them every month is my free, is about all the money I get, after everything's said and done.
Oh, okay.
Is this a, Nick, you're giving us a math problem here, but so we'll address the math problem. But this sounds like a existential issue. This sounds like this is a husband who got married and all of a sudden has a little kid and now is also caretaker for her parents. This is a lot. I hear a guy who's tired.
Yeah, I had my dad with us too up until last January. That's one of my big whys right now is to kind of kick me in the pants. So to get my stuff together and I want to go debt free. It's my wife. She doesn't work right now, and she thinks I'm a little crazy because I listen to you guys all the time and talk about you guys and want to do it. But I'm trying to right now sell the house. I'm hoping to get enough equity out of the house to, kind of pay off the car, pay off the credit card.
So where are you going to go, man?
Yeah, where are you going to live?
Where are you going to go?
Well, so that's the thing we're trying to figure out. We've got family that we can stay with.
Oh, no.
Dude.
No. Okay. Can we just pause the family stuff really fast?
Yeah.
Sure.
You lost a bunch of income. What were you making last year?
So for about the last 4 years, I've made between 80 and 90.
Doing what?
I work as a warehouse supervisor in a manufacturing facility.
What are you making right now?
My base salary is like 59.
Doing what?
I'm running a warehouse for a FDA regulated manufacturing facility. So
okay,
I've been there for about 12 years.
Okay. Could your in-laws watch the child while your wife was working? Theoretically here.
Yeah, but my wife struggles with anxiety and depression, and that's kind of where we've been for the last 6 to 8 months.
All right, so I'm just addressing some of the money things we got to do because you're trying to solve this thing with money, and there's a lot of things going on, but money is a big piece of this. I don't think you should be selling the house. I think that creates way more chaos. You're already dealing with all kinds of things. You have an income problem to add to everything else you've listed out. And my friend, you need to be making 80 to 90. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're already tired. You have got to make more money. You've got to make more money because then you can walk the baby steps out.
And you've been with this group for 12 years, and great, they've served their time, but you need to put those skills out on the market and see what you can get.
Yeah, and I've been job shopping. I haven't had a whole lot of success with it.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have to eat to live. And if I told you had to kill $4 between now and the end of the year or your family starves, you'd find a way to kill 4 deer. Would you or would you not?
Right, yeah.
Then get after it. I'm not getting on you, but this is an urgency, my man. And you got a lot going on in your life. I get that. But right now, you've got to bring in some more income, and you and the wife got to get on the same page and go, we're going to get out of this financial mess. Because you can. I want to encourage you. $14,000 on a car and $15,000 on a credit card, if you're making $90,000 and you're disciplined, you can get out of this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the car worth?
I don't know. Probably about what we owe.
Why don't you find out?
Yeah.
Dude, you need some urgency. Urgency's your friend right now.
And that's why I go back. You sound worn out. Are you all right, man?
It's been my wife and I aren't in a good place because, I kind of leaned on her pretty heavy last year to help out.
Yeah.
And it didn't really pan out. And
so here we are.
Yeah.
Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a copy of my new book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. And with it's going to come a month of free therapy for BetterHelp. And I want you to make that phone call as soon as you get the code.
Yes.
You need to talk to somebody. And I'm taking care of the first month for you. And you got to make a plan. And this book's going to help you make a plan too. But you deserve, and your family deserves more than what y'all are trying to shuffle the deck chairs on the Titanic. Okay? You need a plan. And let's get some urgency and get after it.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at betheltech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.
Triple 888-825-5225. This is the Ramsey Show. Let's go out to Paige in Salt Lake City. Hey, Paige, what's going on?
Hello.
How we doing?
Oh, good. I'm just super nervous. But,
We are too, so we're all in this together. What's up?
oh, good. So, me and my husband got married when I was 21. I'm 31. And we got a Dave Ramsey book given to us for our wedding. And we read it and we loved it. And we have spent 10 years really doing our best to follow those goals. And we graduated college, and my husband went to graduate school across the country, and we've had babies, and we've been very tight. He graduated from graduate school, and we moved to Washington State for him to do a loan repayment program. We had about $250,000 in debt, and the loan repayment program was for $50,000, and over a 3-year period, we paid the whole thing off.
Wow, good for you guys.
And it was a joyful process for us. We were very tight with our money, but I don't know, it gave us a lot of purpose and unity together, and we really we loved the process of it. But a year ago, when we were about out of debt, we were like, look, we're in Washington. The winters are really rough. We're far away from family, and we wanted to get a job back in Utah near family, and we applied and got a really awesome job here, and we came back. And something I have kind of had in my mind my whole life that I would do is take care of my grandparents. And sorry, I don't know, I'm kind of emotional. And we moved back here, and the home prices are really crazy here. It's one of the worst housing markets in the country and stuff. And we have been so conservative, and a year ago we agreed to do. Sorry, I don't know why I'm crying.
That's okay.
We agreed to build a home and to put my grandparents in the basement. My grandma is estranged from my dad, and I grew up not having much to do with my dad, and so she was my only connection to my paternal side. So I have felt this desire to really take care of her and all this stuff. So anyway, we looked into building so that I could accommodate her, and we just made choices that I really regret a lot. And I wish I could go back a year and make them all over again. But we started building, and we agreed to build this home that was almost $1 million. And I kind of had this wake up call a few months ago when the builder, we were only supposed to have seven stairs to get inside, and the builder listed the house way more out of the ground than we were planning, and there's going to be 13 stairs to get inside now. And that seems like a little thing, but it really gave us a moment to reset and be like, what are we doing? Like, my husband, we've been conservative our whole marriage, and my husband just makes over $200,000, and I don't think we have any business to be getting into an almost $1 million home, even if it's to take care of my grandparents. And so we talked to them, and we talked to the builder, and the builder has agreed to try to sell the home, which I think it will sell just fine here. But, they said we could not finish the basement, and we could still have it for about $800,000. And a lot of family members and people are like, what else are you going to do? Like, homes are just going crazy here. And I'm scared, and I feel like the inflation is really scary, and we've been so good our whole marriage. And part of me is just like, wants my husband to quit his job and move somewhere where the housing isn't so expensive. And I feel like we've had this purpose our whole marriage of like paying off debt and being really conservative. And now that we have money and we don't have debt, I feel a little disoriented.
There you go.
And so
here's what I hear, Paige. Number one, I hear a very brave and simultaneously scared woman. I also hear somebody who's a great person, who's got a great marriage, of shared values. And You also care for the people in your family. And you've got some deep wounds that resurface in common ways and in strange ways and unique ways. And so y'all made an impulse purchase. You thought about it. This was going to be a way to both live out the fantasy of keeping the family together and honoring your legacy and fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. And here we are. And then you had the moment of the 7 stairs, right? That y'all can get tattoos that just say 7 stairs on it. And you said, what in the world are we doing? Right? So here, can I free you from something?
Yeah.
Maybe you bought too big of a house. You're not a bad person. In fact, your grandparents are lucky to have you, for you to be loving them like you do. So now the question is not to revisit and revisit. We've always been, okay, great. You still are. You messed up. So here we are. Okay? So let's put a period at the end of that sentence. There's nothing we can do to go back and edit that. We're here. Let's write something new. Are you in for that?
Yeah.
So, Paige, what that means is you have an exit. The builder has agreed to sell the house.
Yeah.
Essentially letting you out of the contract. Am I understanding that right?
Yes.
Okay, then. So do it. Who cares what all the family members say?
They don't get a vote.
It's not their call. So the good news is you're debt-free. You make really good money. And if you got to rent for a little bit to reset and figure out if Hubs wants to leave Salt Lake or not, this is not a crisis. You're actually okay. You haven't blown it. I think this is a do-over you get. And,
I think it's a great, it's almost cosmic lottery type do-over.
It's okay. Celebrate this.
You almost made $1 million whoopsie-do, and you got an out, and now you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
And if you and your husband go rent a 1-bedroom apartment for 6 months, and you tell your grandparents, we're unable to support you right now. We just simply can't afford this big house. And here's the thing. Your family is going to be nudging you towards this house. Why? Because you're taking ownership of all of the stuff. Of grandma, of granddad, of all the family drama. Paige is going to take care of it. So, of course, they want you to do this. Go get a 1-bedroom apartment. You have a picture in your head where you take care of your grandparents, and it may not be the season for that right now. It may not be the housing market for that right now. It just is what that is you owning reality right now.
I thought I heard Paige starting to say, but, am I right, Paige?
Well, yeah, I have 3 kids, and I feel terrible that we've moved them and we're renting right now, and this house that they thought we were going to move up to, we're not moving into now, and now maybe we're going to go rent somewhere else for a little bit, and a lot of people are like, you need to hurry and buy something else because everything's going up.
There you go. There you go with all these other people again. Boy, you sure do. You sure do care a lot about other people's opinions.
You know the greatest gift you could give your kids is to take them out for dinner.
Yeah.
And to sit around the table and say, hey, me and your dad almost made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
We got so excited. We love our family so much. We were going to do this, and we got you guys all excited, and everybody's disappointed, us too. And you'll probably cry because it's real close to the top of your heart. And your husband may shed a tear. And what you're going to do for your kids is 2 important things. They're going to get to see mom and dad say the words, I'm sorry. They're going to get to see mom and dad have emotion. They're going to get to see mom and dad say, hey, we almost made a huge mistake, so here's what we're going to do next.
Yeah.
And nobody likes what happens next, but this is the world we're in. And you're going to give them legacy gifts. This is changing family tree gifts.
How old are the kids?
8, 6, and 3.
8, 6, and 3. Okay, first of all, the 3-year-old has no clue.
And the 6-year-old won't remember any of this.
Yeah, and the 8-year-old's kind of like, after about 2 minutes of the tears and all the nice stuff, they're checked out too. No, I'm serious. I mean, Paige, you and I'm having fun with this, but I'm also dead serious. They're not going to resent you over this decision. They are loved big time, are they not, Paige?
Yeah.
Those kids don't want for much, do they, Paige?
No.
Stop this. Stop this nonsense of everybody else telling you what you should do. Your tears and the way you and your husband have lived your life to this point is what matters.
So, Paige, what you've created in your head is a picture of the way things are supposed to be. And what you have to make peace with is that picture's not going to work. And the challenge before you is to paint a new picture. And it's best done with your husband over a half-day time y'all take together. Get one of these family members who can't mind their own business to watch the kids for half a day. And you and your husband say, okay, we dodged a bullet like the Matrix. What's this next picture going to look like? We get to choose what that is. Stay on the line. I'm going to give you a copy of my new book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Y'all can read it together, and it will give you a path out of this mess. We'll be right back. Today's scripture of the day is Isaiah 32:8. Generous people plan to do what is generous, and they stand firm in their generosity. The great Helen Keller says, life is an exciting business, and it is most exciting when it is lived for others. Outstanding. I love it. Let's go to Heather in Seattle, Washington, home of Pearl Jam and the gang. What's up, Heather?
Hey, how are you?
Outstanding. What's going on?
So I'm just calling because we are in baby step 2, and our next personal debt is an RV.
Hey, Heather.
And then after that,
Heather, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know you're in baby step 2, but it also feels like you're in a wind tunnel. Is there anything you can do to help us with that?
I am in a wind tunnel.
Oh, literally? That was a joke. All right.
Yeah, it's Washington.
Oh,
you can never.
All right, that's much better.
Yeah,
that's much better.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
So we're in baby step 2, and our next personal debt is an RV that we have, and then it's my student loans. And we use the RV as sort of a short-term rental. Last summer, it made us like $10,000 just in a couple months. And then this summer, we're projected to do about $15,000, and that's conservative. And so I guess my question is, do we use the proceeds for that to pay off the RV, or do we just sell the RV and not have that, I guess, as...
How much would you make if you sold the RV?
So we owe about $34 on it, and we could sell it for $43.
Oh, you owe on it. Sell it today.
Yeah, because go ahead and pocket and get out of the debt, because that thing is devaluing quickly. It's not a great rental thing long term, so don't talk yourself into that or let anybody tell you, oh, it's an asset that you can rent. No, you have too much debt on that. It'd be one thing if you owned it clear and free, but I'd sell it, pocket the profits, and put it towards the other debt.
How much student loan do you have?
$70,000.
Yeah, sell it
and knock it down. You'll have $60,000 to go. You'll be on your way.
Okay. And then I guess we have rentals already scheduled for this summer. So do we just sell it at the end of the summer, or?
I think you can sell it with the rentals in mind and let them know, hey, we've rented this out. I don't know the contracts I don't know what you've agreed to. I don't know if this means you're out of the rental business forever, etc. I don't know the ins and outs, and so I'm not going to give you any insight on what to do with the contract, but it is what it is.
I thought that was a sound effect from the booth. Oh, I thought that might be that, but it was clearly a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Figure out your rental contracts, and if you can get out of them, I'd get out of them and sell.
That's right.
If you can't, well, then you got contracts and you got to wait.
You got to hang on.
Problem with that is it devalues every month. So, but yeah, get out of the RV.
Yeah, dude. If you had owned it outright, I would have said hang on to it.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's making money.
Yeah.
You don't. It's $40,000 just staring you in the face. Let's do that. Let's go to Phil in Minneapolis, Minnesota. What's up, Phil?
Hey.
And I know
you guys hear me?
I know it's Minneapolis. I just always say Minneapolis.
The chagrin from Kelly's face in the booth, folks. I wish I had snapped a pic.
Not good at my words.
Minneapolis.
What's up, Phil?
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for taking the call.
Of course, man.
So here's my question. So, me and my wife are kind of fortunate. We have a great life here. We're debt free. We make really good money. But sort of through the pandemic, I think we've been sort of rethinking some priorities in life. So my wife wants to have, we don't have any children, and she wants to have a kid next year. And then once she does that, she wants to sort of go to sort of more like a part-time role. And I also kind of want to switch careers. And what I would ideally like to do is sort of take a few years and try and build some video games. But that's a really kind of high-risk field. You could sort of have multiple years where you make no money at all. So what I'm trying to figure out is, my current plan is to sort of wait until we're 55 and then just sort of, quote-unquote, retire early and then try and do this, build a video game while my wife kind of continues to work part-time. I kind of want to know if y'all think that's a reasonable idea. Do you think I could do it sooner?
I'm going to jump into the one thing, and I'm going to hand this off to Ken. Sure. Okay, Phil? The big thing that is setting off my alarms here is you said, my wife decided she wants to have a baby, so she's going to have one next year. That should be a we decision.
Yeah, as if you're not involved.
No, it is almost certainly a we decision.
You should participate in that, and both.
You misunderstood that.
I did. So you're in on this?
Yes, absolutely. I'm 100% in on this.
All right, good.
I didn't say the word we because the video game thing was just me.
Okay, so I'll turn over to Ken about the jobs.
Yeah.
Well, and I would also just say this too. I appreciate the spirit of the question, but guess what? Stacy and I struggled for years and years and years to get pregnant. So I just want to kind of I don't wish that on anyone.
Oh, we did too.
But it's not a simple thing as, well, we want to have one next year, so that's going to happen. Right. Well, we don't know that. And I want to put this out there to go, because it does have context to my suggestion. My suggestion is it's a combination of the scenarios you gave us. I absolutely do not like you leaving your very stable career right now that has afforded you the ability to be debt-free and all the other great things to go after video game design right now. That is very risky, your words, not mine, and I don't like that risk. It's an unnecessary risk. I'm a fan of risk, but I'm a fan of an adjective in front of it called mitigated. I like mitigated risk, meaning we plan for the absolute worst. We know what the worst is, but we have a plan for that. So it's kind of like my dad teaching me to ride the bike. My dad taught me, he was brilliant. Johnny taught me to ride on a flat, grassy patch behind our house. That's mitigated risk. My dad's going, the kid's gonna wreck the bike. Right. The risk is high that he's going to wreck, but I'm going to mitigate it by he's going to wreck on the grass, and so he's not going to stick to the sheets for 2 weeks.
My dad taught me on the highway.
Yeah, your dad's an evil person.
That's right.
It's terrible. All right, so Phil, here's my point. What could you do nights and weekends, even with a newborn baby? I'm just thinking, what could you do to progress towards the dream of full-time video game design? Why do we have to wait till we're 55 if we do it smart, on the side, don't overcommit financially, we piddle around, we get really good at one thing? Do you understand what I'm asking? Like, what's the part-time kind of crawl, walk, well before we run, and by the time 55, we've learned a lot of things because we've tried some things. We didn't risk much. That's kind of what I'd like to see. And then I love the idea of 55 going after it full time because you're retired. Now it's like there's little risk at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that is a fair point. I guess the only sort of thought was, again, what you just said, which is, if we have a child, it's going to, from what I hear, it's going to be really hard. I don't know that I'm going to have a lot of, because my job is fairly stressful. So I think
you won't. First of all, having a child is the hardest thing you'll ever do. Okay, John and I can tell you that. Secondly, I had 3 children under the age of 3, ran my own small business, and pursued broadcasting. It's possible.
You can figure it out.
It is not one of these, there's no way I'd have time, Ken. How would I find the time? Trust me, you can find the time.
You are a excellent risk mitigator, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you were talking to me.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah. You are good at surveying the landscape and finding where the mines might be, and you're good at avoiding that, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fact that we're debt free. I mean, I would say we're allergic to debt. Like we really live well within our means. I guess the 55 thing was, was just like me thinking, I know we will be financially completely stable at that point, and then there'd be like no risk.
But you've boxed yourself into an either or. It's either financial risk and security when I'm 55, or I quit everything and swan dive off the top of a building with a baby on the way.
Right.
And what we're telling you is there's 1,000 options in between A and Z.
Right. That's a fair point.
There's the part-time option. There's the Mr. Beast grinding it out for year after year after year after year after year, figuring it out and being tired, and that's just part of it, of being of somebody who's got a dream, right? There's all these different parts to it and components to it, but you can make it happen. Don't box yourself into well, if this happens, then I can only do it like this. That's not how that works, man. Chase it, chase it, chase it, Phil. Hey, everybody, this has been The Ramsey Show. Live well, be kind, work hard, and be generous. We will see you soon on The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's John Deloney, co-host of The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? A lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, go to RamseySolutions.com/show.